Yeah, able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the last session, we have discussed about the completely IAM thing. So like we have seen how to create users, how to add the users to the groups. So what is meant by policies? What is the policy document or policy? Okay. What is the structure of the policies? Okay. So next we have seen the roles thing. Okay. So if you are working under the IME concept, you will be seeing only the four things. Most of the things is the users, groups, policies, and roles. Okay. So if you know how to write the policy, everything will be the permissions. Okay. So next thing we are going to say about the CLI. Okay, so what is meant by CLI? CLI is nothing but command line interface. So we can do resource creation in two ways. One is management console. So if you see, this is through management console. Once your account is set up, so if you want to create EC2, if you want to create S3, IMA role, if you want to create a new user, okay, all these things we are setting through management console. Through UI based, we can click here. Okay, we can click here, we can click and add user. So this is the one way to add the users. Same way, same kind of activity we can do through CLA also. Okay, so CLA we can perform in two types of OSs. So one is Windows, another one is Linux machines. Okay, so in the Linux also we have different kind of flavors are available. So like CentOS, okay, Ubuntu, okay, Debian, okay, like that. So many Linux flavors are available. So based upon the flavor, we need to do the CLA setup. Okay. So for CentOS machines, default the CLA got installed. No need to install. So it's a built-in default it got installed. Okay. If you go for other machines, like how to set up the CLA and how to perform the commands. So if you want to interact with one service to another service, like EC2 S3. So what we did, so EC2 to S3, if you want to do the communication, we have created the IMA role, right? So this is a one way we can do it, and another way is through CLI also we can do. Okay, so if you want to communicate from EC2 to S3, yesterday we have created IMA role and we have done it. So this is the one way. Another way you can do through CLI. So how to do the CLI setup and how to do the CLI configurations, let us see. So go to the EC2 service. Take any Ubuntu service. Okay, go to Ubuntu launch instance. Okay, so take Ubuntu. Here we have Ubuntu. Okay, take anything. It's a free tier only. Take Ubuntu server instance of key pair. Launch instance. Okay, so view all instances. Okay, so in order to set up the CLI, okay, so we need to have some keys are there. So what is the command to set up the key is like when you type the AWS configure command. So this is another way. Without IMA role also we can do CLI commands. Okay, for that one we need to type AWS configure command. So once you type this configure command, it will ask for your access key and secret key. Okay, so this will vary based upon the user. So each user will have these keys will be there. Access key and secret key will be there. You can come here and select the user. Security credentials you can go on particular user. Here you can see. Okay, under the IMS section only, we have different access keys are there. You can go for the access key and secret key. So if you expand this tab, you can create new access keys. So click on new access key. So if you don't know how to do it, just go to the IMA again. Click on the IMA. Okay. So here we have the access management is there. So here we have access management. Okay. So here we can see manage access keys. So click that one. It will go to the again to the access keys. Okay. So if you want to delete something inactive, we can delete it. Select this one. Okay. If you want to create a new access key, okay, click on the download or show access key also fine. These are the access key and secret key. If you want to download the file also, we can download the key file. So the key file will be downloaded. Okay. So these are the access key and this is the secret key. So for this particular user, what the root user is there. So for this user, I have generated the access key and secret key. For IMA user also, we can generate the access key and secret key. No problem. Okay. So now once we log into once we are able to launch the server, now this is Ubuntu server. Just to take in one server here. Go to the putty. Take the public IP address. Open the putty. Copy it. Authenticate. Okay. So here, if you type AWS version, okay. So you can see here, when you do the AWS versioning here, so when you do the yesterday CentOS mission, when you do the AWS -hyphen version, so we got CLI information. But when you do for the Ubuntu machines, so we don't have the anything. Okay. So if you want to get the particular version, they are giving some information. If you want to go with like this, we can also try this one. Okay. Okay, so package AWS has no installation candidate. Okay, so if you don't want to get this kind of information, we can go with the official website, AWS CLI. Okay, so go to the official website. Here we have the Linux machines. Use these things. Done. This is the step curl. Next, unzip. apt unzip command.
Sham, if you want to do anything in the putty, can you change to root user, right?
Yeah, we can
Sudo
change it.
data, sudo on iPhone.
Sudo we can change it. Like sudo, if you want to do it, you can do sudo -i. So it will change from the root user. Okay.
Root user, yeah.
Directly no need to put the sudo. Directly we can do the sudo operations. Okay. So if you want to perform as a root user, sudo we can type it and we can type the entire command.
Oh.
Okay. Now it's got installed. Let us check the same thing. Okay. So when you do the CentOS mission yesterday, so when you type the AWS -- version, we got the same thing. AWS CLI with specific information, what type of version Python is there. So you are able to see some information about the CLI. If you are getting this information means the CLI got installed. So nothing is performed here. Just here we have done the 3 steps to set up the CLI activities. Okay. So here before unzipping, it is saying that the unzip software is not there. Just we have get install unzip it. Okay. So this software is not there. So as it is even to mention, we need to use app-get. So if it is CentOS missions, we should replace with yum install. That's it. Okay. So if it is CentOS, it is yum. If it is a Ubuntu mission, it is app-get. That is the only difference for installation any software. Okay. So when we are unzipping it, it is saying that this unzip is not there. So we have installed the unzip software and we have performed these 4 steps. Okay. These 4 steps we perform now. So we are able to do the CLA version. Okay. So before also we tried CLA version, but it's not able to do. So we have manually installed the CLA. Okay. So this is the 4 steps we have involved in. So now we are able to do it. Okay. So same thing if you do the S3LS. Okay. So yesterday we have typed the same command. I want to list out all my S3 buckets, but here we don't have any S3 related information. We are not able to get it. Okay. So when you go here, you want to server, when you go to the actions, security, IAMA roles. So we have the IAMA role, but we are not adding any IAMA role here. Okay. So we are not adding any IAMA role. Without IAMA role also, we can perform the CLA commands. Okay. How can we do it? By using configure option. Okay. So you can type the AWS configure. Once you do the AWS configure, so it will ask for the access key and secret key. So you can do the, this is my access key. Okay. So next it will ask for the secret key. Copy the secret key. Okay. Default region name. Default which region you want to get the information. So I want to get the information of Southeast. You can take the region name. Okay. Enter. Okay. So now we have configured the CLA. Now if I type the same thing AWS S3LS, I can see. Okay. Got it. So there are two
So,
ways.
Sham, without configuring IAM role, how are we granted access to list S3 buckets?
Yeah, we are giving the access key and secret key. This is another way we can do it. Okay, so IAMA role will help us to service communication based upon the permissions. But if you want to do the CLA operations, command line, how we are doing the management console access, same thing through CLA also if you want to get it. So for the particular user who is logging, who is running these commands, so that user only, we are going to generate the access key and secret key.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the another way to create the resources. How we are doing through the management console. If you don't have the access to the management console, so if you want to perform through commands, we can do it like this. Okay, so if you want to create the bucket, same thing, we can perform it. So S3 API is there, right? So create bucket. If you want to do it, same thing. Yesterday operations, what we have created, same thing. Create bucket. So here, if we are somebody asked about to write something command, first thing is everything it will starts with AWS, then service name, okay, function name, parameters. Okay, so these parameters will condense key and value. Okay, so for example, if somebody want to write about the S3 or IMA, anything, so AWS service name is S3. If somebody asks us to write IMA, AWS IMA. Okay, so next which function name they are asking to write it to create S3 bucket. The function name is S3 API. Okay, so if you don't know what is the correct function name, so we need to go to the Google or something. You can go with AWS IMA CLI list. Okay, so this is the official website docs.amazon.com. So you can click this document. So when you see here, it will always starts with AWS, then IMA. So these are the all available functions. You can see in the blue color, right? So list IMA roles, list role tags, get roles, get policy. Okay, so based upon our things. Okay, so based upon the things, if you want to create a user, type user, you can see user related 26 information is there. Detach user, get user, list group for user. Okay, so like this, tag user. Okay, so if you want to create means click on create. Create group, create. Okay, so our thing is I want to create a new user. Just click on that create user. So if you come to the down, they will give a lot of examples for you. And if you want to know the complete things, so it should be AWS IMA function name is create user. Okay, so create user, we need to do it. So come here, AWS IMA create user. Okay, so create user. Then next, wherever you see these many parameters, it will be supported. Okay, so path, username. If you're not seeing any flower bracket, so this is the mandatory field. If you want to work with this command, we need to pass the mandatory field. So remaining all these fields are optional. Without passing these fields also, it will take the default values and it will create the user. If you don't pass this one, it will not create it. So the mandatory field for this particular function, we need to pass it, then only it will work. So if you want to create a user, just we need to know the parameter. Okay, so the username is the parameter value. What is the value you want to create? I want to create Bob user. Okay, so like this we can create it. Remaining all values, it will take defaultly. Type it. Okay, it got created. I got the output. So we can go here. IMA. Users. Okay, so Bob. Okay, Bob got created. So you can see password age. So this was 4 days created and the 24 hours it created, but just it was created none. So if you created 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, so it will be setting here. Okay, so like that, it will create the manual work, whatever you are doing. First of all, we should know the things. Okay, so if you don't know how to run this command also, they will give the examples for you. Okay. Okay, so next thing is, if you are writing anything, if you are including, this is the mandatory field. If somebody asks us to write to the specific the particular region, so I want to go with the region also. So the region they have specified it. So what is the value for the region? We need to check it. Whether it is a string or integer or it may be another thing, we need to check it. Okay. Region. It is a string. So it is expecting if you want to pass the any parameter region. So we can specify the region AP South East 1. Okay, so like that, username is one field. This is mandatory. The value is a string. Same thing if you want to pass another parameter region. So it is also expecting the string. So the string value we need to pass it. So here we are going to create one more user called Bob1. You can copy it and paste here.
IAM is a global, the service is global service.
Global. But if you want to store
As
this
you mentioned
particular
earlier,
value,
do we need real mention?
it's a global service only. If you see for S3 also, S3 is a global service. But if you want to create that particular bucket or anything in a particular region, so there is a one more column called regions. See, so this bucket is globally we can access it, but this bucket we are creating in a particular region, North Virginia region. Same thing, we have created one more bucket in Singapore region. So in the global section, we can see all the buckets at single place, but the creation will be happening in the backend part. It will be the region based.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Same thing, if you want to specify this user is created globally, we can access globally all the users. But if you want to go with a particular region, so we can specify the parameter. This is not mandatory. This is optional. Without passing this also, it will work. Only if you pass this value, it will work it. Okay. So additional parameters also sometimes we need to have it. Okay. All these things, profile, region, output. If you don't know this, no verify what SSL is this. So come here, type here. Okay. By default, the AWS uses when communicating with AWS server for each SSL connection, the SSL will verify SSL connection. The option overrides the default behavior for overriding SSL certificates. So it is expecting Boolean value, either means 0 or 1. Okay. So yes or no, 0 or 1. Okay. So like that, it will be based upon the requirement. We need to choose the respective parameters. Okay. So same thing if you want to work with any type of service, EC2 or S3, anything. Okay. AWS EC2, create instance, CLI. Okay. I want to create, now I have created one EC2 instance here. I want to create a similar EC2 instances with CLI. Okay. How we are going to create. Okay. You can see. Okay. So how we are doing through manual activity, same thing we can go with easy. Okay. So if you don't know how to do these things, just go to AWS EC2 CLI. Okay. So this is the official website. Click this one. Okay. So for EC2 service like AWS EC2, same thing. If you want to work with EC2, what we need to do? AWS first thing is, then next EC2 is the module name. So next, in order to create instances, which function we are going to use it, we should know. Okay. So when it comes here, these many functions, it will be supported. Okay. I want to list out all the EC2 instances which is currently present in it. Okay. So for that one, we will going to use describe. Okay. So when you see the describe, you can see these many things are there. Okay. Describe is nothing but I want to see the information. Just I want to get the information. If you want to get the information, we can get the by using the describe. Okay. So describe instance is the one thing. So I want to list out all the information with specific information. So how many instances are there? Each information, if you want to get it, then we will go with the describe instances. So we can open this in the new link in new tab. Okay. So describe instance is my function name. So I can copy here EC2 describe instances. Okay. So if you want to get the, so here you can see, if you type directly describe instances, it will work. So if you want to put any filter, we can pass this, not mandatory parameters. Okay. So we can type this command also. How many instances are there in currently? So we can get. Okay. So AWS EC2 describe instances. Okay. So in the current region, which region you have configured it, for that particular region only, you will get the details. Okay. So you can see AWS EC2 describe instances. How many instances are there? So this is my instance ID 68E. Okay. So when you come here, 68E is my instance ID. Okay. So this region only I have configured by using the AWS configure. So if you want to configure for another region also, we can do the configurations. So if you want to apply any filters for here, so I want to get the particular related information, you can come here. We can get the things. Okay, maximum items, how many you want to show it. Okay, so output, I want to get something information, you want to get it. So all the information and each, what is the, you want to get the only particular instance ID, you want to get it. So get instance IDs. If you know the instance ID information, so we can pass the instance ID as one filter. So we need to know what is the value it is expecting. It is expecting list or string or integer. So it is expecting the list. Okay. So if anybody used this concept, so when you type the, okay, is the filter instance ID, we can use the filter and we can pass our instance ID, copy it. I want to get only the this particular instance. If you have the multiple instances, copy it, paste. Let me log in one more time. Okay, same thing if you want to get the described instances with specific instance ID. So we can copy this, paste here. Okay, space we got extra. Okay, so AWS EC2 is the module name. This is the function name, described instances, and this is the parameter. So this is not mandatory without parameter. So this is optional filter. So we can apply the filter. If you want to pass it, you can pass the information. Okay, so like that you can get the information. Okay, so now same thing I want to go with create instance. Okay, so if I want to go it with create. Okay, so I want to go with creating the new instances. Now I don't want to go with launch instance. I want to go with through CLI. I want to create a new instances. Okay, so first of all, we should know the command. Okay, so the command is so run underscore instance is the command name. Okay, so in order to implement that thing, okay, so AWS EC2 is the module name, and we can either run instance. We can take this.
But we need to create the instance before we run it, right?
Yeah,
We have to create the instance before we run it.
yeah, we are not running it. We are not creating it, right? Now currently we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
only one instance is there. Now
Yes,
we are
yes.
going to launch one more instances. So for that one, we are preparing the CLI command.
No, but my question is that should be create command, not run command.
Here in the EC2 instances, so it is not create instance, it will be the run instance. This is in the running mode, right? Default it is in the running mode. Filter is running.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Okay. So that's the reason they have given the command name as a run. Okay. So when you click on the run instances, so you can see these many fields it will be supported. Okay. So if you want to get the any image ID, if you want to pass it, so we can pass with particular AMI ID. Okay. So this is the only thing we can pass it, image ID. The value is nothing but AMI ID. So if you come here, string. Okay, this is image ID is nothing but, so we can pass the thing. Okay, so if you want to get the instance type also, I want to go with something like t2.micro like that. So here, instance type. Okay, so this is the all the values it will be supported. So which value you want to choose it, we can choose it. Okay, so we can go with anything like t2.micro, t2. Anything. Okay, so we can choose t2.micro. Okay, so this is the parameter, this is the value. So image ID, so already we should know. So I want to go with same Ubuntu machine if you want to create it, right? So if you want to go with same image, Ubuntu image, so we can go with AMI. This is the AMI ID. Okay, so we can copy it. We can pass here. Okay, AWS easy to run instance. If you want to go with image ID, if you want to go with instance type, so these things we can do it. Copy it. Okay, so currently we have only one instance. Now we are going to run one more thing. AWS easy to run instance is the, these are the parameters. Two parameters only we are passing. So image ID is, these are not mandatory. Without passing also it will work. Okay, so try to do it. It's okay, it got created. Let us see whether it got. Refresh the page. Okay, you can see. Okay, so if you see now it got instance 1 by 2. If you run the same command again, it will create one more instance. Same command I'm running one more time. Okay, so clear the screen. You can type one more time. One more EC2 instance will be created. Okay, you can refresh the page. You can see 3. Okay, understood the concept? So there are many ways we can create the resources. So one of the way is the CLI way. So first of all, we need to understand how to run the CLI things. Okay.
Shyam, can you say once security access keys once, secret key?
Secret key, we can go with 2 ways. So click on the user, the which user you have logged in. So click, there is a drop down. Click on the drop down. You can have the security credentials. So you can click the security credentials directly. You will be going to the access key and secret key section. Okay, here we can go with access key and secret key.
Okay, thank you.
This is one way. Otherwise, we can go to the directly to the access management. Okay, so users, we can go it directly. We can click on the access management. Here also we can go manage access key. Click on this one. It will also goes to your. Here we can create new access key also. Okay, so only supporting if you want to do it. So this is marked as inactive. It is not in active mode. So it is created longer back anything if you feel that. So today only it got created. Click one thing, deleted, inactive one, delete one thing and create new access key. Okay, so if you want to update the region, okay, same command I want to, now this is the Singapore region. Okay, currently I'm into the Singapore region. So I want to go to the Sydney or Tokyo region. I want to create one more EC2 instances. So same EC2 instances, it will not work here because if you see the configure, okay, so configure, we have, we will type, okay, so already access key, secret key is entered. So if you see our region name is AP Southeast 1. So we can run this all the CLI commands in this particular region, except global. If you want to create a resources related to region based one, it will be the this region only I want to create. So if suppose I want to create the same EC2 instances in Northeast one, means this is Tokyo region. So this is Singapore region. Same command I want to run it. Already have the command here, but I want to run this command in other things. Here, if you see, the AMI ID will vary for region to region. Right. So if you go to the EC2 dashboard, okay. So this is Singapore region. So EC2 dashboard, if you go here, we don't have anything instances running in the Tokyo region. Okay. So if you want to create a launch instance, this is the one way. Okay. So we need to know this is the AMI ID for Tokyo region. So if you want to go with Ubuntu, so when you select the Ubuntu, so Ubuntu AMI ID is this thing. So we need to take this AMI ID. Okay. So here the AMI ID will varies. Copy it, paste it. So AMI ID place, we need to replace it. Okay. So now the same thing if you want to run in the Tokyo region. So currently we are in Southeast region. So just we need to update this with your, go here, Northeast one. Just update the region name here. That's it. Okay. So if you do the same configure option, access key will be same. Now we can see. So previously it is in the Singapore region. Now we have updated to the Tokyo region. Okay. So now we click on the instances. We don't have any instances. So if you run the same command here, okay. So Singapore, we have 3 instances. Now, if you go for the Tokyo region, we don't have any instances. So just go here and run the same command. AWS EC2 run instances image ID. So we need to be very careful choosing the AMI ID because AMI ID will vary for region to region. So which AMI ID you want to create it? First, we can copy it from click on the launch instance. So which type of OS you want to create it? Okay. For example, if you want to go with Mac OS or Windows system. So if you click the Windows, we'll get the AMI ID of the Windows. So take this AMI ID, just we need to update the AMI ID here. That's it. So now we are going with Ubuntu. So that's the reason I have taken the Ubuntu AMI ID and I have copied, I have replaced the AMI ID here. That's it. So we can go here. Now we can run the same command. So, okay. So same command I'm running here. Okay, it got created. So now command refresh in the Tokyo region. You can see now in the Tokyo region, it got created the instances. This is Singapore region. Okay, so while we are doing any errors, we need to identify the errors. So same thing if you're trying to update this AMI ID. This AMI ID is the Singapore region. But when I'm trying to create a instance in Tokyo region. Okay, so this AMI ID is not there in the Tokyo region, but still I'm trying to create it. So if you do this, we'll get an errors. Okay, you can see invalid AMI not found. When calling the run instances operation, the image ID does not exist. Means you are running the create instances in Tokyo region, but we are using this AMI ID as Singapore region. So that's the reason it is telling that this AMI ID is not exist. Okay, so based upon the errors, we need to identify it and we need to take the correct AMI ID and we need to run it. Okay, so when you run it, it will create one more instances in Tokyo region. This is second instance. Okay, so now come here, replace the page. So like that, any type of a service they are asking. So we should know the AWS, that module name or that service name and function name and the parameters. Based upon the requirement, we need to keep on adding the parameters. So I got the instance type. If you want to go with the key pair, if I want to go with volumes, anything. So list of the things it will be supported here. So just we need to go to the okay. So take this, each will have different things. If you want to go with key names, we can go with key name. So we want to go with other options also. These many things will be supported. Okay. So in order to just if you want to launch the instances, basic mandatory fields is enough. Just AMI ID, if you pass it, it will create. If you don't pass it, it will create the instances in default region North Virginia. Okay. Okay. So hope everybody understood the concept of CLI.
Yes, Shyam.
Okay. So
Yes,
IMA
Shyam.
is there S3, anything, any service you took it. So just to take the function name here. So open that function and each parameter, that's open bracket and close bracket is a non-mandatory fields. So if you pass, if you don't pass also, it will run the command. If you don't know the how to run it, so come little bit down. So they will give some basic information for you. Okay. So here.
Sham, how can we change S3 and IAM throughput
S3.
and IAM commands?
I have a command. So directly we can type it right here. Now, if you want to create one more user, so we can directly use all the commands at a time. It doesn't depends upon the AWS IAM. It's a global service, right? No need to worry about the S3 and IAM. It will be created directly. Only for region-based services like EC2, VPC. Okay, so these type of services, we need to update the region name in the configure option. That's it. So remaining all the things, it's a global services, it will not affect anything. So still if you are configured for the Northeast one, so still we are able to create S3 bucket. Okay, so AWS S3 API, create bucket name, right? This one only, right?
Yeah.
So S3 API, so create bucket, we can give, go to S3. Okay, so here you can see we have only two things are there. Now, if you want to specify the particular region, the bucket has to be created the backend the particular region means we can pass hyphen region. So if you don't want to don't know about thing, so always the parameters should be this is the function name. Create bucket. If you are doing any activity, it should be hyphen. Okay, so let us S3 API, right? AWS S3 API. Create bucket.
Bucket name should be unique.
Yes. S3 API create bucket. Okay. So this is the function name. Directly we can create the create bucket. Okay. So hyphen create bucket. So we have used the correct syntax. So just type this. Okay. So this argument invalid choice it is saying. So create bucket. So we are missing one more thing. Come here. Okay. So create bucket hyphen bucket. This one is missing. Bucket. Press enter. Okay. Which one is missing? Okay. So just open this one. We don't have S3 API. So we have only one S3. Okay. So this is the AWS S3 API is the service name. Create bucket is the function. This is the parameters. Bucket. Okay. Just execute it. Okay. Then you get local cache and cause the create bucket operation. Then as the local cache is incomplete for the region specific endpoint. So the region was sent to it. Okay. So there is a problem with this. Let us fix it. Bucket region. Okay. So we can take this one bucket name. You can take my bucket also 2211 2022. Copy it, paste it. Okay. So bucket got created. Just go ahead and refresh it. So my bucket. Okay, you are in which region, it doesn't matter because it is a global service. We should know the, for the global service, no need to have it. Only for the region-based services like EC2, so we need to update the configure option. Okay, access key and secret key will never change. Only the region name will change it. That's it. Here, if you want to change the region name, in this column, we need to update your respective region. Okay, understood? Everybody got the point? How to use the CLI commands?
Yes,
Yes,
Shyam.
Shyam.
Okay. Okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss some more concepts. Okay.
Okay, Shyam. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, guys.